Oh, can you? My age is showing.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Yep, thanks.
All right. Well, at about 3:15 this afternoon, our communications control section received several calls from both civilians as well as two off-duty Cleveland police officers of a male in this area walking, both holding a gun and firing a gun. Our officers responded, actually encountered that male, tried to give him commands to actually put the gun down and surrender. At this point, shots were exchanged and the male went down. Right now, the male is deceased at Metro Health Medical Center. Our officers are okay, and as far as we can tell now, not too much else happened with this. A little bit of damage to a couple buildings, but that's about it. And we're asking folks, if you kind of come downtown or come to work to your property here on Superior tomorrow morning, you see any damage or anything like that, definitely give us a call so we can document that. But unfortunate incident. This male, we actually tracked a little bit east on Superior, probably back to East 30th Street, with some camera work that our real-time crime center did. Actually had this weapon headed out. We don't know if he actually fired it that far back, but we do know that he actually had that weapon headed out, was pointed at vehicles that were passing by and just pointing the vehicle up in the air and at different things while he walked westbound on Superior Avenue. So that's about it right now. The Sheriff's Department, since this is a fatal police-involved shooting, will handle the complete investigation. And as you can see, our state crime lab is here with BCI and I, so they'll do all the evidence collection on this. And of course, the Division of Police in the city will fully cooperate with the Sheriff's investigation.
When did the police first notice him? Was it from phone calls, or were they patrolling down here, or?
Basically from those phone calls from citizens, as well as, again, two of our off-duty officers, one that was headed home at the end of his shift, and one that was actually working secondary employment for the Downtown Cleveland Alliance in the blue truck that you guys see a lot of times downtown. And when those calls started coming in, our officers, hey, I'm right here on Superior, and they actually spotted the guy and actually called that information in as our on-duty officers were responding to tell them exactly a great description of the suspect as well as where he was at, and to try to cover them as they came in to try to stop this kid.
Chief, two questions. 82 shots. I counted 82 shots, and then there was maybe 24 from him. Was there another weapon besides their Glocks? Were they using, AR-15s to get all those shots off?
No, Lydia, you probably counted the markers out here. There are a few dozen markers. Those aren't all gun fired cartridges. Some of those are actually unspent cartridges. Some of that is evidence. Some of that marks magazines that officers were reloading. So it's different pieces of evidence. They're not all shots that were fired.
Was anyone inside the school district building where the windows are blown out?
I don't know, not that I know of. We kind of went over and took a look once we got here, and there was nobody in at that time. Since then, their maintenance personnel, security personnel have come. Our officers actually were able to kind of get in the building to make sure there was nobody hurt in the building.
What goes through your head when you hear about something like this happening, where 63,000 fans are half an hour away from walking down this way?
Well, I think we're extremely lucky that it was not at the conclusion of the Browns game, or we would have had, a few thousand people on the street. And, it just shows the proliferation of guns in this country. I don't know the suspect at all in this incident. We'll hopefully find out later, the frame of mind of this person and why the person would do what they did. But our officers acted the way they should. They tried to get this person to surrender and put the weapon down, and when the person fired at them, they protected themselves.
Now, there's also things that people are saying he wasn't masthead. Do you know anything about him maybe going into masthead coming? I know it's
I don't
early
know
in the
right now.
investigation.
Yeah, it's early. I really don't know, but I do know that, he walked a long distance. That several citizens that called in and gave us that information.
How many officers fired shots, and were they off duty or on duty, the ones that actually fired the shots?
I don't want to get too deep into this, but the only officers that fired were on-duty Cleveland police officers.
And so there'd be two then that are now on desk duty, or two?
Well, we'll see who's on desk in this incident. On-duty Cleveland police officers.
Do you have any idea how many rounds went off?
No,
Or is it too
there.
early?
Again, our folks just marked everything because we were here first, and now BCI and I and the Sheriff's Department will take over that, and they will do actual count of all the evidence, and they'll collect that and present that at the appropriate time.
Do you know what kind of gun
all right.
he had?
No, I don't. So Sergeant Schatz and her folks will get out a more detailed statement probably early tomorrow, if we can, in collaboration with the Sheriff's Department. But that's about all right now. So
What's the lesson to be taken away from this?
a person, city of Cleveland, period. Need to be careful, and again, I applaud those folks that saw what went on, called it in, so our folks could respond and try to keep people